Hey guys, it's me Mr. 250 and welcome back to Memories Dogma Code 1. So, last time went splendidly. This is way better than trying to record on a tablet. Unsurprisingly, but still, something to note. So, we're going to continue a little bit more. I did say I was going to do it later in the day. This is actually the next day. Had a little bit going on, but, still, you know, should go for another hour, maybe hour and a half. We'll see. Anyway, oh right. So, what I said last time was I wanted to go back to that decision and decide not to chase, what's her name? Can't remember. But we're not going to chase her, and that leads to a bad end. So let's do that. I'm going to have to go through a bit of text, so give me a minute. Alright, decision time. Don't chase after Reina. What should I do? I'm unable to come to a decision, and so I just stand there.
君たちは早く逃げなさい。
Ryu Shinji, brushes past us with a grim expression. Haruna and Yonekura-san follow after him. Akane and Emma are nowhere to be seen. They must have chased after him. As if the violent exchange just now had all been a dream. An eerie silence blankets the station. Kakeru and I just silently stand there. After we finally come to our senses, we start wandering Futsu City looking for Reina, but we're unable to find her that night. The next day we find one of the shoes Reina was wearing next to a large bloodstain down a small alleyway. After that, we weren't able to find any other clues about the truth of Serrano's death. And eventually, the days of her memories digituming arrives. In the end, I was never able to discover the truth. Bad future. The truth is not yet revealed. Alright, that was pretty short, actually. So apparently if you make a bad decision like this, it'll apparently drop you right before you made the decision from what I heard. Although this is quite a bit farther back than that. Wow, okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to load my save instead. Alright, so now we're back to chasing her. As I continue to chase her, I leave the station and find myself running along a back alley. Somewhere in that time, the sun is sunk below the horizon, and night blankets the sky. I finally managed to catch up to the point where I could grab her back if I wanted.
Reina, 待てって。
ついてこないで。
I'm ugly. Reina doesn't listen to me at all and keeps running without even turning back. Guess I don't have any other choice. I'll have to stop her by force. Reina is getting visibly tired, and her speed is starting to drop. Now's my chance. I shorten the distance in one big bound, and grab Reina by the shoulder. With that, Reina finally stops running. The sound of our panting is the only noise that echoes throughout the alley.
どうして追いかけてき
I
た
was
の
gonna get a bad end otherwise.
どうしてって。レーナが急に走り出すから。
Reina stares at the ground, not saying anything.
あの男のこと知っているのか。
いえ、見たことない男だった。
狙われる心当たりがあるのか。
ごめんなさい。
言えないってことか。
Reina's silence is all the answer I need.
あの男、明らかに私を狙っていた。だから、これは私の問題だから。
I'm beginning to understand why Reina suddenly ran off back there.
わかった。
え？
レーナの問題について言いたくないことは言わなくていい。深入りするつもりもない。 でも昨日の夜レイナは言ってくれたよな。力を合わせようって。でも俺はまだレイナに助けられてる一方だ。これじゃ全然フェアじゃない。だから一人で勝手にリスクを背負うのはやめてくれ。
Reina looks surprised for some reason.
ありがとう。
She mutters with a slight smile. I feel like this is the first time I've seen Reina smile.
でもあの時はああしないとみんなが。
ああ、結果的にレイナの判断は正しかったと思う。
Because Reina ran away at that critical juncture back there. That other guy disappeared too. In some sense, I suppose you could say she made the best decision possible given the circumstances. Thanks to that, though, it's clear that there's a reason why that guy's targeting Reina specifically.
あの後、例の男は姿を消したんだ。他のみんなも無事だと思う。
そう。
Reina looks a little relieved. Before he comes back, we need to meet up with everyone else and find a place to hide.
とにかくみんなと合流しよ
う。そうね。まずはカケルに連絡を取ってみよ
う。Reina suddenly looks bewildered as she stops mid-sentence. I casually follow her line of sight and see... Is it... Oh, it's him! Man, with a sharp glare. It's him. He's standing right next to us.
そんな...
When did he manage to get so close to us? I didn't sense him approaching us at all. I couldn't even hear the sound of his footsteps. He cast a long shadow over us as he approaches us with that faint, ever-present smile.
他の人間を差し置いて一目散に逃げ出すとはなかなか痛快だったぞ。戦略としては悪くない。凡庸な人間は得てして退くという基本的な判断ができない。
You mean like the lady you cut in half earlier? It's obvious he's talking to Reina.
その点は評価しよう。だが逃げ込む先としてこのような場所を選んだのは失敗だったと言わざるを得ない。おかげでこちらは気兼ねなく狩ることができる。
You're really tall now. The man draws his right arm back. I can clearly see it transform from a human arm into a blade, from the elbow down, right before my eyes. When I saw it last time, I thought I was seeing things, but now I can tell his arm really has been transformed into a weapon. This is something that completely falls outside the realm of common sense. Is this even possible? The blade is utterly grotesque. It behaves like it's as hard as iron, yet it looks like it's made of muscles. Oh, missed that last little bit. It's as if it really is part of his flesh. The man lowers his arm-turned blade and starts slowly walking towards us. He's still smiling faintly. His eyes gleamed with a cruel glimmer. I felt more joy than bloodlust in his piercing gaze. I can feel my heart thumping in my chest. It's becoming difficult for me to breathe properly. I'm sure Reina's eyes also saw that cold glare. I look back at Reina. She's frozen stiff, just staring at him. Crap, what do? I don't think we'll be able to run away. Maybe if I tried to run away on my own, I might be able to make it if I sprinted full speed. But I'm not leaving Reina behind. I don't know why he's so fixated on Reina, but I might be able to use that. I whisper softly so that only Reina can hear.
レイナ、俺があいつの気をそらす。その隙に先に逃げろ。あの男が狙ってるのはレイナだ。だからレイナが先に逃げ出すことができれば、その後で俺が逃げるチャンスがあるかもしれない。
I guess, I made that comment last time about it looking like they were cutouts from a white background like that one character was. I'm kind of seeing it in Reina here too, so maybe that's just the game style, or maybe they just cut all the characters out of a white background. Who knows?
でも
そうするのがベストだ。ちゃんと逃げろよ。
ちょっとヒロキ。
Before Reina can voice her complaints, I step forward.
おい
I step forward, in between Reina and the man, and call out to him. As if only noticing me for the first time, the man looks at me.
ほう、この右腕を見てもなお前に出るか。大抵の人間はこれを見るともう動けなくなる。己の中にある強小な常識が少し揺るがされただけで人間は簡単に思考を停止させてしまう。あるいは貴様もすでに何か常識を超えた存在を目にしたことがあるのかな。
お前は誰だ。なぜレーナを狙う。
つまらん問いだな。
He says with a completely uninterested expression.
質問は慎重にした方がいい。お前が最後に知ることのできる答えになるかもしれないのだからな。逆に問おう。貴様はなぜその女を守ろうとする。
それは
その女が何者であるのか知っているのか。何を隠しているのか知っているのか。貴様にとって本当に命を懸けて守る価値のある人間なのか。
Who Reina really is. What she's hiding. Does this man know these things? I carelessly let such thoughts pass through my head. It doesn't take even a second for me to consider those things, but before I know it, his shadow has grown even larger as he closes the distance between us. Before I can even say crap, he grabs the collar of my shirt.
もう答えなくてもいい。貴様は何も知らない哀れな男だということが分かった。
In an instant, his hands around my throat, and I can no longer breathe. Before I become completely unable to speak, I yell out to Reina.
レーナ走れ。
It's gotta be now. Now's the only chance she'll get to run away.
その勇気だけは評価しよう。
Just as he says that, I feel something huge hit me. Feels like I'm hearing Reina scream from far away. What just happened? The place where I think I got hit is roughly between my stomach to my chest area. I look down. The man's arm blade is sunk deep into my stomach. Ow. I try to scream, but no sound comes out. Seeing that cold blade buried deep into my abdomen, my body starts to tremble before the pain even registers.
ここで貴様は退場だ。
End of game. The man forcefully pulls the blade out. As he does so, I see blood spurting from my stomach. Then a moment later, the pain hits me. It rushes through my whole body as blood starts pouring from my mouth. The blood doesn't stop. I can't even breathe. I can't even tell which direction I'm facing anymore. I lose all strength in my body and, before long, crash into something. The night sky spreads out before me. It's all over so quickly. Well, I expected this to happen from the start. However, I wasn't even able to stall for time. That is my only regret. Reina, I'm sorry. I wish she'd at least been able to get away. I can hear someone shouting from far away. My vision is rapidly growing dim. The sound of my heartbeat is surprisingly loud. I can feel it growing slower and slower. Am I going to die here? Well, there's no way I'm going to survive with this injury. Well, I don't really mind though. Yeah. Everything starts to go white. For some reason, Serrano appears before me. running innocently towards me, with one hand reaching out to me. Serrano. I see. I'm finally going to where Serrano is. I try to reach my hand towards Serrano, but my strength has long since left my body. Even then, I desperately try to move at least one finger. Huh? What's happening? I feel a sharp stinging sensation on the back of my head, or neck. An instant later, Serrano vanishes.
Hiroki!
レイ、
ヒロキ、見える。
Suddenly, it feels like electricity is flowing through my body as a dazzling light fills my vision. Warmth begins to spread through me. My hazy consciousness rapidly comes into focus. And then... she's got the pen. I see Reina right in front of me, looking at me. Reina's holding something that looks like a ballpoint pen in her right hand.
あれ、なんで。
それは後で説明する。とにかく起きて逃げる
Is that
の。
like future drugs hidden in a pen? Reina starts to put her ballpoint pen looking thing back into her shirt pocket. At that moment, I see just the slightest of movements behind Reina. Is it the sharp man? Suddenly the man from earlier is standing behind her. By the time Reina notices the man behind her, he's already started raising his right arm. His movements are surprisingly slow. Why? Why is he taking his time like this? In response, Reina slowly raises her ballpoint pen and holds it backwards in her hand. At the tip of the pen, a small blade flicks out, almost like a scalpel, and gleams in the moonlight. Are you planning on fighting with that pen? There's no way you can win, Reina. Just run. As long as you manage to get away. Even if it's only you who gets away. That feeling that electricity is surging through me happens again. Strangely enough, the pain in my stomach is gone now. I put a hand on Reina's shoulder. Surprised at the unexpected action, Reina carelessly looks back towards me. At the same time, the man swings his blade down, aiming for Reina's back. I need to let Reina escape. The moment I think that electricity runs through my body again. As if being driven onward by that sensation, my body begins to move. Whoa. He's now like thought about his friends and about the power of friendship, and now he's become twice as powerful as before. The sound of a massive impact resounds through the alleyway, and the ground where we'd been moments ago has been completely pulverized. I'd grabbed Reina while covering her with my body and rolled to the side. Using my feet to stop my roll, I stop a short distance away from the man.
Hiroki.
Reina's in my arms, staring at me dumbfounded. Thank goodness, it looks like she isn't injured. I untangle myself from Reina and stand up to face the man once more. The man who'd been focusing his attention on Reina turns back to me.
女、こいつに使った
The
な。
future drugs! He glances at Reina for a moment before turning back to me. Perfect. My whole body feels hot. That feeling of electricity surging through me, which had been happening periodically until now, suddenly starts happening continually. While I feel the tingling all over, I somehow also feel full inside. My consciousness, which had felt clouded this past month, suddenly feels very clear. It's a really strange feeling. It's the future drugs. Both the man and I silently glare at each other. The blade on the man's right arm is pretty big. Rather than a sword, it's closer to that of an axe. The blade he'd swung down at Reyna earlier has enough power to pulverize the ground. But his swinging motion isn't that fast. Back when he first stabbed me too, he had to grab me to stop my movements first. He didn't need to raise his blade that time. Instead, he just had to thrust forward. However, regardless of how he chooses to attack, as long as I can see what he's going for, the one to make the first move is him. He begins by raising his arm up. It's a sign he's going for an overhead swing. Now is my only chance. The moment I see what he's going for, I start running at him. Once he finishes raising his arm, he'll attack again. If I take even one of those attacks, I'm history. The distance between me and him is a few meters. However, I jump in without any hesitation, and perhaps because I acted so decisively, I jump a lot further than I expected and reach my destination earlier than planned. I can see the man reflexively trying to pull back. He wasn't expecting my leap to reach all the way to him. Well, that's only natural. Normally, you wouldn't take such a risky course of action. Anyone with a proper survival instinct wouldn't choose something that would purposefully endanger their lives. They wouldn't willingly go to a place that they know is more dangerous. Only someone who doesn't care if they live or die could do something like that. The tingling feeling of electricity gets even stronger. At the same time, I can feel my muscles trembling. I feel like I'm jumping into the mouth of a giant beast. My leap takes me right in front of him, and I form a fist with my right hand. My arm already wound back for a punch? Or pulled back, maybe. Don't hesitate. Aiming for his stomach, I transfer all the energy of my run up into my fist and launch it right at him. Ooh. Ooh. Hello there, main character guy. The blow connects and he's blown away. The man lets out a groan of pain, and I can see that he's been thrown back a good few meters. The recoil from hitting him travels from my arm through my whole body. Unable to take it, I stagger a few steps backwards, somehow remaining on my feet. When I look back at the man, I see that he crashed into the concrete wall behind him. I definitely hit him with just my right hand. But it's impossible to punch someone so hard they get blown away. What just happened?
Hiroki.
I hear Reina's voice from right behind me, and I turn around. For some reason, she's looking at me in fear. Are you alright? Is what I'm about to ask her, before it feels like something suddenly leaves my body. That tingling sensation has vanished, and at about the same time, my legs start trembling. I collapse onto my knees as my legs are no longer able to support my weight.
Hiroki.
The future drugs are wearing off. Reina's voice is getting further and further away. My body crashes down onto the ground. I can't feel myself at all anymore. I might really be dying this time. Well, I suppose it's fine this way. At least Reina will manage to get away. My consciousness gradually fades away, and my vision goes black. He used up all the recovery drugs, and now he's dead. It smells like summer. I'm dead. It's that earthly smell that tells you it's going to rain soon. The sun, which had been blazing down on us just moments before, is suddenly covered by huge cumulonimbus clouds. The chirping of cicadas ceases, replaced by the sound of the wind blowing through the Zelkova trees.
ヒロくん、聞いてる？
My dead girlfriend is alive. Serrano is right in front of me.
空の。
もうまた人の話聞いてなかったでしょう。
ああ、すまん。
Still kind of spacing out. I give a vague reply as Serrano smiles mischievously.
ヒロ君はしょうがないな。この後ケーキ屋さん寄って行こうよって話。
Oh yeah, that's what she was talking about. School had ended and Serrano and I had started heading towards the shrine as usual.
ケーキをおごってくれるってヒロ君さっき言ってたんだけど、それも忘れちゃったかな。
おい、どさくさに紛れて嘘をつくなよ。
さすがのヒロ君でもこの手には引っかからないか。
お前な。
冗談だよ、冗談。
Seeing Serrano smiling so happily, I can't help but smile too. And then, Serrano points past the shrine gates to the inside compound.
それじゃ行ってくるね。
I wonder how many times I've heard that line these past 3 years. Waiting here for Serrano has become like a daily routine for me now. So there's nothing strange about this scene. So why do I feel like I can't let her pass under those gates? Why? Serrano doesn't sense my worry as she happily heads off towards the shrine. Why? With the skirt of her one piece fluttering in the wind, feels like Serrano could just float away into the summer sky. Why? Why is she going over there? Why is she flying off? Why am I so worried? I try to call out, but my voice won't come out. Meanwhile, Serrano keeps on getting further and further away. At this rate, she'll pass through the gates. I've got to stop her somehow. Serrano, wait for me! I try to run after Serrano, yet for some reason I can't move a single step from where I'm standing. All I can do is slowly watch as Serrano gets further and further away. Why am I so helpless? Why couldn't I do anything back then? Stop. Don't go. Don't leave. As if she'd read my mind, Serrano turns back.
大丈夫。私は消えないよ。だから、ここで待っててね。
Serrano leaves me with those words and walks through the gates with her usual brisk gait. Serrano's figure continues to go further and further away. It's slowly melting away into the summer haze.